Hi all, welcome to the complete JavaScript beginners tutorial by CodAffection. In this session, we will discuss comments and statements in JavaScript. From now onwards, we are going to discuss basics or fundamentals of JavaScript, which you can apply anywhere JavaScript is used, whether it is in web application with HTML or in front-end frameworks like Angular, React.js or Node.js or any other JavaScript frameworks. So it is important to learn the basics thoroughly. Okay, now let's start with statement in JavaScript. Statement in any programming language is a complete set of instructions to perform a particular action. Let me show you the examples here. Here we have the same project from our previous tutorial. It consists of an HTML page. Within it, we are running this JavaScript file script.js. So here we have the JavaScript file and here we have the output from this HTML index.html and corresponding dev console is opened here already. Now let me show you an example for JavaScript statement. So here we have a statement to print a message into developer console, which we have already discussed in previous tutorial. So this is a statement which perform an action which is printing this message hello world into this developer console here. Let me save this and reload this page. So here we have the output. So here we have a JavaScript statement. Now let me show you one more example here. I want to show a pop-up dialog within this web page here. For that, with JavaScript, we can call this function alert. We will be discussing what is a function later. Within a pair of parentheses like this, we can pass the content. It will be shown within the dialog. Boom. So here we have the pop-up dialog with the content that we have passed here. So this is an example for another JavaScript statement. Like I mentioned before, semicolon in JavaScript is optional after each statement. So let's add the semicolon at the end of these statements here. Commonly we split statements into multiple lines. So usually everyone says semicolon is optional at the end of each line of code. But if you insist on writing multiple statements in a single line, then semicolon is a must to separate those statements from each other. Now let's talk about comments in JavaScript. Comments are added to provide an explanation or annotation in our code. It makes the code easier to understand for ourselves and others who works in the same project. It has nothing to do with any operation like rest of the code. It is a normal text to explain the code we write. In JavaScript, mainly there are two types of comments. First of all, we have single line comment. It only works with a single line. It starts with 2 / like this. And then after that, we can provide the comments here. So it should not exceed this line here. To write multiple lines of comments, we have multi-line comment. So it starts with a / and then an asterisk mark like this. And we can end this comment with an asterisk followed by a / like this. In between them, we can have any number of lines of comments. Let's add a single line comment for this statement here, just to explain what this line does. It might be helpful for a JavaScript newbie. So this line prints hello world into developer console. So this is an example for single line comment. Okay. Now let's talk about the application of multi-line comment. It is a best practice to add informations like author, purpose of code, return date, etc. at the beginning of the code. Let's try that with single line comment first. So we will start with author. For that, we'll be using this single line comment. So here we have the author name, something like Olivia Kathleen. And then we have the date. And finally, some description. Instead of using single line comment, if we use multi-line comment, we can avoid / in each line here. So multi-line comment start with / then an asterisk mark. Now we can skip these / on each line. It should end with this sequence asterisk mark then followed by this /. So this is an application of multi-line comment in JavaScript. Once you become serious about documenting your code like this, you can use JSDoc for structuring and organizing comments in JavaScript documentation. Considering the depth of the topic, JS talk, I will discuss it later in this course. That's all for now. In next session, I will show you how you can benefit from my JavaScript notes project. For more awesome videos like this, consider subscribing to this channel CodAffection. Please thumbs up and share this video with your friends and colleagues. See you in next session.